I've been thinking a lot recently about what it means to be a human in 2024. Because going into 2023, for instance, we didn't know what was going to happen, right? This whole AI, chatbots, AI microservices, we didn't know what was going to happen. Had no idea. And now these things are foundational and integral parts of our lives. I mean, I'm a programmer. I can't imagine sitting there for a coding session for 4 to 6 hours without ChatGPT, right? The hours of Googling for results, searching and finding things manually, and then seeing if it works. That's 2022 stuff. I mean, we're in the future. We can just ask the machine. That's literally how this stuff works now, and the machine can basically give you answers that you would have never thought of yourself, and it can do it faster, quicker, better. Now the same thing happens for AI art. AI art a year ago it sucked. It sucked. But now with the recent changes in Midjourney and all these other features as well, it's better than anything a human can make. It's almost like better than real life in a way, which is kind of the scary part about it. AI music. Last year it sucked, but now it's getting there. This year is going to be the year where all that advancement is going to take place, and it'll be better than anything a human can make. Faster, better, cheaper, quality, quantity, everything. Cinematography, videos. Maybe that's a year or 2 years out. And pretty soon, in 5 to 10 years, by 2030, 2040, click a button and you can basically make AR, VR dimensions where you can do everything that you want to do. It's basically a simulation of the reality we live in now. So this makes me think about, well, what does it mean to be a human in 2024? In a way, what does it mean to be a human at all? Right? Because it's not about what's going to happen this year. It's about now that we have these technologies, what's just going to happen in general. You almost have to think 10 to 15 years out and plan for that. And I think the biggest thing for me that I really learned a lot this year essentially is to not attach yourself to what I would consider uniquely my characteristics and attributes which make me special. See, I'm an artist. I do 3D design, programming, generative art, web design, graphic design. I kind of just like do everything. Anything in terms of designing, creating, putting my special flair on stuff, that's what I do. And see, now with AI art, I can do all of that much better, easier, faster, cheaper. It doesn't quite have my soul within it. But I think what I've learned the most is that to try to include a bit of me in everything that I do, in a way, is still an attachment to the world. And the biggest thing that I've learned this year is that when you have attachments to the world, you're going to constantly be disappointed. Things are never going to be exactly what you want them to be. See, with AI and everything that's going to have this capacity now to basically replicate all of what we can do ourselves and make it better, it kind of makes it hard to distinguish, well, what is so special about being a human being after all? I mean, like, why even exist at all? We're basically pointless now. All of what we thought was uniquely us, now the machines can do. And I think it's a prompting in a way for trying to understand that deeper layer of the soul and really find that part of ourselves that the machines will never be able to have, which is, you could call it like the spiritual people would say, like your aura, your energetic field, manifest, all that kind of stuff. I think we're almost going to get to this point in our society where we're going to apply so much importance on self-expression and self-individuality, and that is going to be the things that machines will never be able to do. And so in a way, machines are going to free us up from all the things of which kept us attached to our unique identities of what we do and produce. And it will just do and produce the things that it's supposed to for us, and it will allow us to be free. The thing is, with this, is to let go of the world and to let go of what you think you are that makes you special. You have to let go of your entire identity. And this is naturally what we call the spiritual progression of going into yourself and into your internal world. What is the you behind the screen of your own reality? right? This is stuff that we're all trying to do, but how many people are actually doing it? And of the people who are actually doing it, how many of you actually do it properly and don't come out like a weird, psycho? Again, less people and less people make the mark after this whole thing. And so, in a way, we're on the absolute cusp of a collective societal mass awakening. While at the same time, I see a lot of people who are trying to kind of combat this system and say it's all terrible, bad AI, it's going to ruin us, and we need to return and revert back to religious structures. We have all these ideas about how we think the world is. We always need to revert back to this Christianity, religious sort of model of a God out there, while at the same time rejecting all the beautiful things that AI could do for us. And so all of these are, it's like a symbol displaying to us that we really are all in different alternate realities all the time. You see, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed in my life is that the reality that I'm in is most certainly never the reality that other people are in, right? Because we're kind of our own individual containers. In the same way how you are never able to see you through your own eyes, you can't like actually ever look at yourself. You never will look at yourself in the same way other people look at you, the same thing for them. Our reality is it's like we're in these different container systems where inside of us we're projecting out the world that we want to see. And it's completely based upon our attributes and traits and things that we've developed invisibly into the screen of our own personal reality. And these act as attribute systems to determine the reality that we're going to be in. Your level of development, in a way, really is descriptive and showing itself as an interface on your reality. So the clearer you are, the more lessons and things that you've gone through, it's obviously going to display itself how you're going to perceive reality. And we're kind of in this thing now where that's what's going on. And it's kind of the thing that's going on that no one knows what's going on, right? It's sort of funny this time we're in right now. It's not an easy thing to see this world exactly as it is. Sooner or later, we're going to get to this point where we're only going to exclusively be solving bigger problems, problems that relate particularly to the human species and what we actually represent and what it means for us to even be alive. All this time, we've been so obsessed with production, creation, building things, making things for the world and for each other. When all of that turns into automation, now we're going to have to actually deal with the fact that we're all sentient human beings and we're all supposed to be serving ourselves, serving each other, and doing things like that, and not necessarily being caught up in the production of things. And when that happens, that's when the true mass collective awakening can occur. But at the same time, there may still be divisions around that because for many people, they almost need something. They need to work in order to feel that inner sense of purpose. So, in every way of how machines and AI are going to be outsourced and used to produce things which were uniquely human things, it's going to call upon us each level of automation, another letting go of that different element of our being, each element of how we're attached to our own creation and productivity. When that no longer is necessary, we're going to be allowed to be more and more free with each new thing that gets automated. Ultimately, to the point where we're almost automating the soul. We're automating the human body so that the soul can fully thrive. I think that in the future, religions and these old, ancient, archetypical template systems of human cognition and fear paradigms are going to have to go away. Yeah. Religion is going to be the thing that's going to stop and prevent progress and growth in the world. Your religion versus my religion versus your religion, what I think versus what you think, that God loves me and not you, sort of stuff. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to destroy the world For those of us who attach ourselves so deeply to religion as if we know for a fact that it's absolutely correct. And so in 2024 and beyond, we're going to be entering into this new phase now where, well, beyond the religions and our conception of what we think a God is, how can I actually go and reach to find that God within me and find my own connection to it without these dogmatic belief systems around how I need to worship it, otherwise it's going to punish me or this kind of stuff or whatever. We have to get to this place where it's beyond all that. And really, it's a scary thing for most people, I think, because to fully embrace the fact that you have somehow like a part to play within this whole creation of our own reality, I think is scary for people. They almost like want this extra thing to be the deciding factor which has placed everything in their life. And oh, surely I didn't do it all, or even I didn't even play half my part in it. God created everything, and this whole situation I was just given to it by this thing, and I can't ever hear it talk to me or see it ever. I just believe, right? And this is all these sort of things that are flaws in our human perception and our kind of unwillingness to step into the full unknown of the world. Each of these attributes are things that are going to be drawn from within us to eventually allow us to disintegrate out of in this upcoming age of automation of everything. Because when there's no more things for you to do, to then have to relax from the stress of the workday, to then feel bad about your life, to then wish you're in a different circumstance and the creator is going to benefit you in some way, we're going to be left with just ourselves. All the things are taken care of. The food is made by robots. The computers, everything's made by robots. Everything that we think is a human thing, it's all robots. So then we're just being served by robots. And it's going to make humans question, well, what's the whole point of this? And I think that's the bigger thing. And that's where it starts to get really interesting because, well, we just continue to create more and more and more. We execute our commands upon the robots to do more and more things for us. And at that point, it's all about scaling out the highest form of our intuition